Hey guys, MC Mura here, and today we're gonna talk about Street Fighter 6 and Footsies. Does Street Fighter 6 have Footsies neutral, and is it possible to play solid in Street Fighter 6? And I've been really thinking about this a lot because recently I saw this clip on Twitter. This is a Twitter clip by High Fight. I'm gonna leave a link to it in the pinned comment so you can check it out. And this was a match from Daigo's stream where Daigo was using Akuma and he was fighting this Ryu. And as you're about to see, this is some of the cleanest neutral plays that you probably have seen throughout the entirety of Street Fighter 6, right? No one is drive rushing in, they are playing very respectively, no crouching medium kick drive rush into mix, no YOLO DIs, no whiffing button into another button, none of the stuff that you see, right? This is very traditional, very classic Street Fighter. And this Twitter clip did the rounds. People have been really talking about it, right? Now, obviously, you have the school, like me, the older players who are like, this is sick. This is traditional Street Fighter. We love it. Street Fighter 6 would be so much better without drive rush and all that. That is just very clean neutral. Although you could have done more here, but yeah. As you can see, very basic neutral, very basic, the essence of the OG old school Street Fighter neutral. The tweet, Footsies in Street Fighter 6, and this did 346k, 1.5k views, and people are gonna say about they are always playing like that in Japan and what the game could have been without drive rush and all of it, right? Now, this is the kind of neutral that we fantasize about, right? When especially content creators and others, when they are making guides and how to improve and how to play solid and how to get good, they are usually referring something like this, right? Where it's very clean neutral play, very precise, right? But then on the other hand, you get to the real world, and the real world, what actually is high level in Street Fighter 6 is more like this, which is like medium much, drive rush in, medium much, right? And obviously, this clip from EWC, this was a Hinao versus Shigematsu, which was using the Blanca, and this clip mind effed me, especially as someone who is an older player, because everything I was raised to be wrong is actually the right play in this game, right? So check this out. Let's check the clip and then we're gonna dissect it. So anti-air, tick, whiff, jump in.
And that is when Blanca's at his weakest, actually.
Anti-air parry, backthrow,
no, thank you.
drive rush DI, now he gets a punish, and that is GG's. And obviously, he now is a fantastic player. He is a fantastic player. But that clip that we just saw, that is the polar opposite of what Daigo was doing with that Ryu, right? Maybe they were playing kind of for fun, but genuinely speaking, what he now is doing is much more in line with what Street Fighter 6 rewards or is, right? And this is going ham on my sensibilities. Like, let's actually slow it down, right? So I'm gonna turn this to like half speed. So he's jumping in, gets anti-air, that's fine, throw tech. So he whiffs a crouch medium punch, whiffs the heavy, and then jumps in. That's crazy. That is crazy. Like, he's just throwing buttons with no care, right? It's up to you to try to whiff punish him. This sort of play, we would see it sometimes in the older games. There were some players, like for example Eita, who was kind of known for being crazy, but it wasn't the norm, right? So try to whiff again, jump in, gets the anti-air to get blocked, that's fine. Don't even try to whiff punish. Anti-air parry, which obviously, again, if you are trying to teach someone the game, if you're trying to tell them to get good, you typically tell them to go for the guaranteed anti-air, right? Typically, a good Shoto player would be brought up to try to uppercut here, to anti-air. But he now goes for the parry, and getting the perfect parry means he gets a back throw into the corner, which obviously is a more beneficial situation for him. Now, what I find to be interesting is that this is absolutely in the context of Street Fighter 6. This is the right play because he gets the corner. This is an option that carries risk, right? Because if the Blanca did an empty jump in, he gets a punish counter thrown. But he went for the risky option because the reward is really high. Even though he still gets DP into guaranteed damage and Oki, he went for the back throw. And then he goes for crouching medium kick into DI. And the idea here is exactly that. He wanna bait the OD reversal, and bam, bam, he gets a punish, he gets the combo, and he gets the KO. What I find to be fascinating about this, like the double button whiffing into the jumping, that's fine, right? But he now blazed with extreme risk every time. Like he took the riskiest but the most rewarding option, right? He took the riskiest, but here, risk is going for the parry, which, you know what? He got it, that's fine. Crouching medium kick into drive rush into DI, again. Risk going for the risky option. If the Blanca just waited and DI'd back, he would have lost this round. He genuinely loses this round on this interaction when he doesn't need to. Like he's already up around, and he have enough HP for him to not need to take this risk. But he did. He went for the riskiest option possible, called out the uppercut on the drive rush cancel, and bam, he actually gets the W. And you can see the huge contrast between what we fantasize to be the correct Street Fighter play and what actually works in Street Fighter 6. Because ultimately speaking, let's call a spade. He now is a more successful player than Daigo in Street Fighter 6. As much as it pains me to say something like this, which clearly Daigo is a Street Fighter legend, in the context of Street Fighter 6 and how risk-reward works, he now is doing a lot better in this game, right? And that is really where a lot of us, the older players, are having issues, right? Because here's the thing. Traditionally speaking, when you are playing Street Fighter 6, what we were raised on back in my day, that's the most back in my day statement ever. Traditionally, you wanted to play with as little risk as possible, and it wasn't really until like you played into a bad matchup where you try to take some risks. Because in bad matchups, playing clean, playing by the book, typically is not gonna win you the game, right? But traditionally, you wanted to play with the least amount of risk possible because you wanted to be consistent. The thing with Street Fighter 6 is that it flips the scenario, where back then, the idea was play with as little risk as possible. So we play with as little risk as possible. That is the OG way. That's how it used to work. But now it's play with as most reward as possible. What he now did is that, and what the younger players are doing, is that they are accepting the fact that Street Fighter 6 is not a stable game. It's not. Right? You are gonna get put into guessing situation. And you know what? If I know that regardless of what I do, I'm gonna be put into guessing situation, then let me try to pull off the big rewards play. And obviously, not everyone's gonna pull this off every time, but more often than not, you are going to do well. And I feel like a lot of people are blaming Drive Rush. They think that Drive Rush is the main reason that Street Fighter 6, the preferred way to play, is not the Daigo way, right? They think that this is the main reason. And that in the neutral, I don't think is that big of a deal. Because sure, drive rush jab is like, that is good, that is great even. And having stuff like drive rush into special move to halt your momentum, that stuff is good. That stuff is obviously very good. But what makes all of this work, what makes playing the Hinao way super good, is first of all, damage is extremely high in this game. So the number of interactions that you actually need to guess right on to win is sometimes 2 to 3 guesses, where in the previous games you needed to win 4, 5, 6 interactions. So because you have to win less interactions, the ones that are more rewarding is like going for the high reward options, even though it's risky, is not that bad of a trade. But also, it's not drive rush in the neutral that's an issue, it is drive rush on wake up, on knockdown, because say that we got Elena to wake up with a jab, right? Pretty much any hit is gonna lead to consistent Oki. If I just did random burn knuckle, I'm getting the Oki here. If I did random sweep, I drive rush in, I get the Oki here. If I ended with an uppercut, I drive rush and I get the Oki here. Rising tackle. Right? If I went for a throw, I drive rush into heavy punch and I get the Oki here. Pretty much any hit will lead to me getting a strike throw mix on Elena. So that means that regardless of the quality of the hit, I am getting the mix up, I am getting the pressure on wake up. Where in an older game, say like Street Fighter 5, if I'm using a character like Cody and I get a knockdown into medium kick Ruffian, I don't really get Oki. I have to go for the light kick version, the slide, to get the Oki. So it's like how I got the hit actually mattered. In this game, most of the time, especially on a character like Ryu, on a character like Terry, how you got the hit does not matter because you're gonna drive rush and then subject them to pressure anyway, and they are losing drive, and they are being brought into burnout, and they're being wall splat into huge damage. So, in my opinion, if you want the Daigo style of play to be more prominent, I think you just need to reduce the damage output a little bit, right? But it is clear that the Street Fighter devs have no intention of actually moving the game into this direction, because you check out a tweet like this and there will be a lot of folks who are telling you this is boring. They love the car crash neutral of Street Fighter 6. And you just gotta accept it for what it is. And this is personally what I have done. I pretty much accepted Street Fighter 6 to be a game where you need to take risks, where you need to play a little bit risky, you need to swing for the fences sometimes, and hopefully it will work out in your favor, right? I think that is pretty much like the main reason. How much damage you're doing is pretty much the main reason that the game plays that way. It's not because of the neutral skips, it's not because of drive rush in the neutral, it's pretty much because of the reward when you happen to land the hit. What are your thoughts on this whole topic? Do you think we will ever see a day where Street Fighter 6 moves into this, where people are playing slow and they're playing steady and it's neutral and yay, footsies? Or are the madness here to stay? I would love to hear your thoughts all about it in the comment section below. I will be leaving a link to the Patreon, Discord, Twitter, and Twitch pages in the description. Thank you so much for watching and stay safe.